Biker Dads brought to you by Garza Law, Thunder Roads Magazine of Tennessee and Kentucky, and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
Hi, this is Chris Best, and I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell stories. And today, that adventure brings me back to Las Vegas.
But when you're on two wheels, the best part of Las Vegas isn't the city, the gambling, the girls, the booze. No, it is the beautiful scenery. And we're taking a ride to the Hoover Dam, where natural wonders and man-made wonders collide. That's where we start this episode of the Biker Dad Show, so let's roll. Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story.
Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach.
Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins.
Mayfield, Kentucky.
Southeast Missouri, beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Gulf Coast of Mississippi.
Florida coast in the Tampa Bay area. Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum. Talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself. But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad. We start our Vegas adventure on the Strip, and yeah, the traffic there is a bit of a gamble itself. Riding with David Vegas Schumann, a friend of mine from Chicago who's now a Vegas transplant. He's our tour guide. And my friends Michael and Deb Mobies from Atlanta, who picked up bikes at Eagle Rider and then headed out. I picked up this Road Glide Ultra with all the bells and whistles, including extra protection from the wind and heated grips, and it's cold for Vegas, so that came in handy.
Did you have any questions on this before you go on your trip?
Nope, I think I'm good. Let's face it, riding in the city of Las Vegas is not very much fun. The traffic is terrible, drivers are rude and dangerous, so we got out of there as fast as we could, but the payoff was worth the risk once we got out of the city and into the scenery.
Well, we left Eagle Rider in southern Las Vegas and headed east through Henderson, then to Boulder City, and then here over to the Hoover Dam. "51 degrees, it's gorgeous. I love it."
How was the ride?
The ride was awesome. We're standing about 700 feet above the water level at this point. The dam forms Lake Mead to the north.
The Hoover Dam is a marvel of engineering and human ingenuity. Built during the Great Depression, this concrete arched gravity dam straddles the border between Arizona and Nevada and harnesses the power of the Colorado River. It was the tallest dam in the world when it was completed in 1935. It remains one of the largest hydroelectric power plants in the world even today. It provides electricity to millions of people and creates a crucial reservoir that provides water to the arid southwestern United States. The Hoover Dam stands as a symbol of American determination and ingenuity and continues to inspire all who visit it, including those who visit on two wheels.
I was like, this is why I flew out here and rented a bike. Yeah, that was awesome.
Sort of a hypnotic difference between this Martian landscape and then all of a sudden you see this deep blue-green water and then the dam shoots up out of nowhere. So the unexpectedness of it is really engaging.
When you see just, I say, all the infrastructure, whether it be power, whether it be just all this concrete that got poured, you know, and all these buildings and the roads and digging through the mountains. And it's real cool too because the dam is to the southeast of Vegas, and we went through a pass in the mountains to go out of Henderson and into Boulder City. And so that's pretty cool to see. And when you first then get a glimpse of Lake Mead, like, wow, it's amazing.
The same spirit of freedom and independence that causes people to ride motorcycles also often leads them to another thing, and that's entrepreneurship. Try to say that 3 times fast. Bikers taking care of business, one of the segments we do once in a while here on the Biker Dad TV show. And this time we are taking care of business just south of Lexington, Kentucky, in a small town called London. Long Rider Leather. And they are reaching an incredible milestone.
Our 19th anniversary being at this location. Our owners had started off in the flea market and their ultimate goal was to go into a store. They got the store, now we've been here 19 years, so next year, if we keep doing strong, you'll be 20. We're super excited about it. COVID was very hard in the beginning because we were shut down because we were non-essential, even though if you ask a biker, we're very essential. So we were closed for 2 months, and then after we reopened, we still got people coming in and stuff, but as far as our events and all the mandates that they had, all that kind of come to an end. So now it's like we're restarting everything over and trying to build all that back up.
My name is Earl Johnson, and I'm from Bluebonnet, Kentucky. They've got longevity, but I mean, they're good people. You know, that's the thing about it. You know, around this part of the country, if you're good people, you'll get people. And if you got an attitude, that shows up also.
Earl tells me he does have one bad habit though, staying up late to watch the Biker Dad TV show.
Oh, I'm late on Monday mornings because I stay up late on Sunday night just watching you all.
That's awesome. I appreciate that so much. Appreciate your support.
Yes, sir.
Hi there, this is Chris Best, the Biker Dad. I'm just here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392.
When hiring a personal injury law firm, it's important to get them involved as early as possible in the process. There are decisions early in the process regarding what insurance to use, do I use my health care coverage, how much information do I give each of those entities, and when do I give them that information, can all drastically change the bottom line when it comes to resolving your case down the road. Second, and even more importantly, The reason to get the Garza Law Firm involved as soon as possible is because there are witness statements that need to be obtained immediately in many cases. Memories fade. If it rains, if it snows, the more days that go by, the more that the scene where the accident occurred changes. And also video footage from either witnesses or local business that can be obtained in that first 24 hours are absolutely vital to getting the best result, or sometimes there's the difference between getting a result and no recovery in a case. So at the Garza Law Firm, we encourage you to call us immediately as soon as possible because we feel like the best results occur whenever we can get involved right away.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Biker Dads brought to you by Garza Law, Thunder Roads Magazine of Tennessee and Kentucky, and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Your support is what makes Biker Dad TV possible, and the best way you can support us is just go punch the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Just search for TV Biker Dad, look for the logo, and hit subscribe. Hit that little bell in the corner too so it dings whenever we post a new video. We're posting new episodes every week, but there's all kinds of extra video that goes on the Biker Dad YouTube channel as well. Again, just search TV Biker Dad.
A special edition of this week's Bike of the Week. It's a little bit different because Harley introduced a lot of the brand new 2023 models this year, and they did it online. So here we are online. I just want to give you a quick overview and a couple of my thoughts about some of the stuff that they're doing for 2023 that's new. It's going to be capped off with a huge party in July at Harley Davidson headquarters up there in Milwaukee, and I plan on being there, so that's really cool. Okay, so the thing that stood out to me the most is the new Road Glide 3. It's not 1, 2, 3 as in part 3, is in 3 wheels. Now, people have been customizing their Road Glides like this for a long time, but Harley finally came out with their own version of it. They've got a Road Glide fairing on a trike, and what's cool about that is because people have been doing that and spending a ton of extra money on top of the bike when they buy it. Now you can buy it and actually have the Road Glide trike for less than what you would have to do now to buy the bike and then the fairing. The other cool thing is the CVOs that have this great red and black color, and they're going to be numbered, limited, only a few thousand of each model. That's something to look out for. If you want one, you better go buy it if you see it somewhere because they're going to go fast. The Breakout is back to very popular chopper-like softail. Back for 2023, people are going to be really excited about that as well. Like I said, Harley did this online, but I was at Mobile Bay Harley Davidson when people were watching the reveal, and a lot of people got really excited.
I'm excited to see the future we're going down the road with Harley, and I think it's going to be a really, really great year for the bikes and for the motor company.
All right, that's just a quick overview of some of the 2023 models, and Harley's going to have a lot more of these coming out throughout the year for their 120th anniversary, and we'll be showcasing them here on the Bike of the Week.
Our Back on 2 segment is brought to you by Garza Law and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. A couple of the regular stories we do here on the Biker Dad TV show, Bike of the Week and Back on 2. But this time, they both kind of come together. That's because the Bike of the Week helped a man fighting cancer get back on 2 wheels. The sunshine is the only way you can really appreciate this beautiful blue chromed out beast.
Hi, I'm Donnie Wright. I'm the owner of the 2018 Blue Lowrider that Biker Dad had on his show about 3 months ago.
This bike is definitely worth taking a test ride.
Speaking of rides, let's get it out there on the road and see if it feels as good as it looks.
It is a 2018 Lowrider Softail Edition, 114, staged up, Reinhardt pipes, all chromed out. The only thing that's not chrome is the master cylinder on this bike.
And it has more chrome than Detroit in the 50s, like I said earlier. It's just a gorgeous bike.
But we were looking for another two-wheeler. I was on 3 at the time, and We went to buy this one back in December, and a friend of mine had a bad wreck, so we had to leave. And when it came time to buy again, I would go on YouTube to your channel to look, and lo and behold, there's the bike. And I was like, well, maybe this is a sign. So I opened up Facebook, went to Mobile Harley, and there the bike was. So I called him and I said, I'm interested in the bike, and bought the bike on a Saturday, picked it up Monday. Thank you for displaying the bike, because if you wouldn't have displayed it, we probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger on it. And so far, this has been probably the best handling bike I've ever had. I ended up catching testicular cancer back in April. Got the bike March 21st. Didn't get to ride it that much, and then I got cancer. I'm all clear now, but this right here was one of the reasons why. I do believe this was the best therapy for me, was this motorcycle.
This is Biker Dad, brought to you by the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
I'm Marcos Garza of the Garza Law Firm. And whenever you hang around motorcyclists for any period of time, you start to realize they're more about each other than they are about themselves. And so, one, they need representation, because a lot of times, my experience is that motorcyclists will get the short end of the stick if they're not properly represented. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen an accident report where it says the motorcyclist was, driving too fast, or driving at Mach 1, or exceeding the speed, and most of the time, that's not true at all. If you go out and you look under all the rocks, shake all the bushes, find all the witnesses, pull 911 tapes, do a full investigation, then you'll find out there's often a witness out there too, like, he or she was driving the speed limit. There's this sort of kind of assumption made, I think, often by police officers and citizens, not because they're bad people, but they just associate motorcyclists with speeding somehow. And so if you can get out in front of a case early and get involved in a case early enough, you can kind of squash that and get a better result. Out of members of society, if you took any cross section, I'll take a cross section of motorcyclists any day on average over any other group of people, except maybe the Marines.
My name is Chris Best, and I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell stories. And now I'd like to invite you along for the ride. You can watch my show right here every week, Biker Dad TV. Friday mornings at 6 o'clock on Fox 43, brought to you by Garza Law and Thunder Roads Magazine of Tennessee and Kentucky.
Now, this week's Biker Dad Tech Tip. Biker Dad Tech Tip.
I don't trailer my bikes very often. I like to ride them. In fact, this is only the second time I've ever strapped a bike on a trailer. And the first time it didn't go very well. As you can tell from these pictures, my electric glide came off the wheel chock because I had it strapped down improperly. So a couple things could happen when that happened. I got lucky, it just came off the wheel chock. It could have fallen over on the trailer and damaged the bike, or even worse, it could have flown off the trailer, destroyed the bike, hit a car, or killed somebody. So it's really important that you strap stuff down the correct way. So I got with Harley-Davidson Master Tech Neil to show me how to do it the right way this time.
I'll go around the medius portions. This bike has upside down forks, so you want to be kind of careful. I go right there. Try not to put a lot of stress on the forks. On a different type of bike, I might go right around here to the frame, very softly. And if you're worried about scratching your bike's frame or anything, there are a number of products. There's some fleece lined soft straps, some different types of soft straps you can use. The biggest thing is to have your bike straight up, just a few clicks. Not the suspension so loaded that you're trying to blow seals. But when you give it a good shake, you want to make sure that it's not moving side to side, bouncing up and down. Those expansion joints in the interstate can really make your bike hop a little bit. I like to have 3 points of contact. I'll have 2 in the front, maybe 1 holding down in the rear if I'm going any further than across town. In the strap for the back, I'll go around the back wheel if it's not a solid rear wheel. If it's solid, like on a Fat Boy, I'll try to come around the swing arm. Like I said, using all protection that I can. So the last thing you want is dropping your bike off, and you can put a strap and a nice big scratch.
And so one of the things I also learned about it when on my ride to Daytona is I got it strapped down pretty good. I strapped it in a place where I wasn't worried about blowing the fork seals, but the straps I had going straight out to the side, and the bike rolled back in the wheel chock. On the trailer, where should you be putting the straps?
Right. Most will have points towards the front. Like I said, I like kind of like a Mercedes star instead of perpendicular.
Putting 2 straps forward on the bike keeps it from rolling off the chock and staying in place. Putting one on the back keeps it from rolling into the back of your truck if you have to come to a sudden stop. So why was I trailering this bike in the first place? We were delivering it to Pelham, Alabama. I picked up this 2003 Road King recently, and it has low mileage, but it's really ugly, and we're fixing that with Bad Boy Toys up in Pelham, Alabama. Stay tuned to the Biker to Head TV show for updates on that project too.
For me personally, we started this division because of my connection. I ride. I've been riding for 10 years, and my friends ride. And I think for our firm, it's just getting tired of seeing motorcyclists and not having someone to stand up for them in all aspects, whether it be legally, accidents, whatever the case may be. I personally lost my best friend to a motorcycle accident, and it was that week that I took the job and created this new division dedicated and committed to making sure that we can protect as many families from feeling the pain that comes with something of that, of tragedy like that. Motorcycle advocacy is, it's about being in the community. Heels on Wheels is my kind of personality piece. I'm known as Miss Heels on Wheels, and there's a story behind that, but another day. I'm a firm believer that you have to be where they are. You can't just sponsor something and not show up. You can't just, bikers in their community are really, really close-knit, and they don't trust easy. So if you get into the community and you show that you're there, and you show up at events or you put on events, if you take on the fact that what's important to them now is important to you, it goes a long way with gaining their trust. And like I said, they're very close-knit. So once you become part of their family, you're in. So it makes sense for us to have an advocacy program that we're kind of boots on the ground. We're involved with pretty much everything within our community. If it has anything to do with motorcycling, we're there.
All right, we're on the road in Pensacola, Florida at Cottonmouth Customs Motorcycles, and you guys may remember a few months back I picked up this 2009 Electric Glide for a song, and it's a 13-year-old motorcycle and only had 18,000 miles on it. Do the math. Somebody's riding this about 750 miles a year.
That's sad.
That is sad. I immediately took it on a 2,000-mile trip to Tampa and back, and just to put it through the test to see if it was a piece of junk, if I got my money's worth, which it would have had to be a real piece of junk because I paid almost nothing for it. The bigger thing with this bike, it turns out the bones are really good. It was low mileage, but just ugly, and I actually kind of like that because it gives us some options to do something really cool with the bike. Trevin is here with Cottonmouth Custom Motorcycles, and we're going to take this beat up old bagger and try to make something really cool out of it. I say try, these guys can do all kinds of stuff, so there is no try, only do. The wise words of Yoda.
Yes, sir.
Trevin, what are your thoughts so far on, we call this bike, my first bike is a Dyna, it's Elvis. Second one is a Cholo called Elvez, and this one of course is Fat Elvis. So what do you think about Fat Elvis so far?
Now, Fat Elvis right now is an ugly Betty.
Yes.
So we're going to fix that somehow. I'm going to leave that up to the boys in the back when we take it back there. We're going to run her through the paint shop. We're going to run her through the mechanics base and see what we can do to give him a whole new personality.
Again, it's mechanically seems pretty good. There's a check engine light on, so we'll figure out what that's about. It sounds good too, but the heat shields have been falling off periodically. There's some missing actually, because one of the big things about this bike is you can tell that whoever had it before me never rode it and they kept it outside. We're on the Gulf Coast, so there's salt in the air. The engine's a little bit pitted up. The covers on the primary and stuff are pitted up. The forks are pitted up.
I'm just impressed with the custom paint job on this.
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to do better.
Yeah, so check out my custom paint job.
We'll have to think of something.
Believe it or not, I did this custom paint job in the parking lot of a Walmart in Binghamton, New York. So
I believe it.
What had happened was, on the road at 70 miles an hour, you all heard that, but I have no idea what that noise was. I guess something. Oh, my entire bag came off. Lost my saddlebag in the road. Came right off. A skidding noise, and this is the result. It fell off. We did fix that problem and change the clips in here, but not before. Over here you can get a better shot of just how ugly the engine looks right now.
We're able to do pretty much all phases of paint customization. The saddlebag lid, I'd probably just replace that saddlebag because with the gouges around that lid, it's going to be too much to smooth that out and repaint it. What my vision would be drop saddlebags, custom paint job, powder coat the rim, get some better looking exhaust on it, some better sounding exhaust on it.
It's not rusted.
Not rusted and falling apart, yes. Basically give Fat Elvis a makeover.
We don't really have a plan for it yet. We're getting into that, but I will tell you this will probably be the coolest looking 13-year-old electric glide on the road after Trevin and his team are done with it. And after I left Cottonmouth Customs, Trevin called me with a bit of surprise. He said that the Fat Elvis project is going to be maybe one of the coolest bikes they've ever done, but guess what? They're not going to let me see it or have any input in it until it's done. So you'll see it first when I see it. So stay tuned to the Biker Dad Show. That's it for this week's episode of the Biker Dad Show here in Nevada with the incredible landscape and scenery. Las Vegas is cool, but you really have to check out what's going on around it if you come on a motorcycle. So see you next week on the Biker Dad Show, and until then, please look twice for motorcycles.